Funding now on Indiegogo, it's Shadowbinders, our second chance offer to get 2 hardcovers of our classic webcomic delivered to your door. Steampunk, fantasy, and romantic comedy from Clownfish Comics. Go to Indiegogo, check out the link in the description below. Now on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And X-Arm is canceled. The manga is canceled.
Yeah, not the anime.
Not the non-anime. The weird CG anime that's not going over very well. Crunchyroll's X-Arm. We're going to talk about the cancellation of the X-Arm manga. And then we're going to talk about what might help cancel Crunchyroll itself. Tubi is kind of sneaking up on these other streaming services.
We told you.
We told you. We did. And we're going to talk about the Tubi story because it's really kind of ingenious. Rupert Murdoch
Insidious.
It is insidious. Rupert Murdoch took some of Disney's money.
Took a lot of Disney's money because they overpaid for Fox.
Yeah, they paid like $70 billion for Fox. He turned around and he bought Tubi for $500 million, and it already had this massive install base.
And it already had the whole platform in for a streaming service already there.
Yeah, and now they're putting exclusive anime from Toei on it.
Huh?
So, upsy doopsie.
Yeah, so here we go.
Upsy doopsie.
But before we get into that.
Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We do talk about anime, we talk about animation, we talk about manga, whatever interests us that day. We're inching slowly toward 200,000, but so if you could hit that button, it would be very much appreciated. So yeah, we've been covering X-Arm. X-Arm was a Crunchyroll original that landed with a thud. They did some really wonky, janky, bad CGI for the animation, and it really kind of destroyed the goodwill that the manga had. Now, the story is that the manga has been canceled, but there are conflicting stories. Some of the stories say that it was naturally going to end, and the other story is the plug got pulled because the anime was so bad that they're like, we're not even gonna, because usually what happens is the anime sells the manga. So we see this in Japan a lot where they will invest in manga and sell manga, and then they will try to get an anime series because they know when that anime series hits that the manga sales are going to spike.
And we saw that with Demon Slayer.
We saw Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer sat out there for years and was moderately popular.
Yeah, it was still popular, but not like it was when the anime hit.
Yeah, when the anime dropped, it just all hell broke loose and it became like the highest selling, yearly sales like ever in manga. So now the publishers were looking at this and they're like, hey, yeah, once the anime drops, and they're like, shit.
Yeah, the anime is horrible.
Shit.
Would you even call that anime? Let's be honest.
I don't know. It looked like a bad PS2 cutscene. Got massively downvoted. And again, this is the second Crunchyroll original to land with such a thud, with the first being High Guardian Spice, which is still missing.
You never know where it didn't go anywhere.
High Guardian Spice is still missing. Now Crunchyroll's changed hands. Warner dumped it off onto Sony. And
that was because Sony was dumb to pay for it.
Yeah, and Sony might, they might get blindsided here by Tubi. But, so yeah, there are some differing stories here. I got to give a hat tip to Black Sage D, who sent me a link this morning to the situation with X-Arm. But a little over a week or two ago, Anime News Network said that the X-Arm manga was ending, right? It was ending. The main manga inspired an ongoing television series that premiered on January 10th. Crunchyroll's streaming the anime as a Crunchyroll original. Well, it didn't go very well. So people were like, oh my God, this killed the manga. It was so bad that it killed the manga. We have a conclusion that Crunchyroll might have actually claimed an official fatality for a manga series. Again, that is a possibility because, these publishers are looking at the anime series as being a driving force in sales. And if it sucks, nobody's going to buy shit.
Yeah, because it goes by what performs.
But then other people are coming out and saying that the original manga has been over for 2 years now. Well, yeah, the original was, but they had another series. The X-Arm manga ended in 2019. X-Arm EXA, a sequel to it, recently ended. The blog post provided just reports on the fact that it ended. There's zero sources talking about X-Arm's cancellation, even though there would be, because the final chapter was released last month. So it does seem like it might have come to a natural end, but I think the brand is damaged at this point. I mean, everybody, when they think about X-Arm, at least over here, they're like, oh, that's a god-awful CG.
Right.
That's why you got to be really careful. Like any kind of adaptation, you know, you can have great source material. You can have a fantastic book. You can have an amazing comic book. You can have a great video game. But if what the mainstream sees is a garbage adaptation, a movie or whatever, that's what they remember.
Yeah, that's what they were exposed to it with. And they're always going to associate what they see with what it was, even if it's not exactly what it was.
Yeah, and we've seen it time and time again where great comic books have gotten shitty movies. You know, great video games have gotten shitty movies.
It's almost always true that the books are better than the movie.
Yeah. And
Except for Stardust, sorry, but I will say that when the movie was better.
Well, even series that are well regarded, like you know, we're talking about Fruits Basket. Fruits Basket's wrapping up here pretty soon, finally getting an ending. But the author, the mangaka, and I forget her name off the top of my head, but she was not happy with the original Fruits Basket. People wanted a continuation of it, and she's like, they left a whole bunch of stuff out that was very important, and you can't fix it.
Right.
So we got to start over.
So they started it again, and they
started over, and they fixed it.
And it's very good, and I love it, and I recommend it highly.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting though, because again, this is Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll's business strategy prior to the Sony acquisition was, obviously anime, but also original anime. I don't know how that's going to change. Because of Sony, I don't know if they're going to want to invest in stuff like this. I don't know if we'll ever see High Guardian Spice. I sort of think we won't.
I don't know where it is. I have no idea. It just disappeared.
It's in the bowels of Warner somewhere.
It'll probably show up eventually. If they need more content, they'll just pull it out.
We know production's wrapped up. People working on it have left. Now, we did hear from someone who saw the pilot. They were actually test screening the pilot. That the animation was actually pretty good. It was not a CG abomination like this. Actually, this makes High Guardian Spice look like a freaking masterpiece.
Right.
So what is going on now is everybody is scrambling to get more anime on their platform. There have been numerous articles about Netflix.
Oh yeah, everybody's trying to grab it.
Sony paid what they paid for Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll's not worth $1 billion. It's not, but they paid it because they were trying to take out a competitor, and then you're gonna have Crunchy Funny Crunch, whatever the hell, Crunchy Funny Roll, whatever you want to call it. They're probably gonna, smush them together at some point. So everybody's racing in the streaming wars here, and they're, so the contenders now, you got HBO Max and Netflix, and of course Disney Plus, and now you got, All Access got rebranded as Paramount Plus, and you got Peacock, Cock and Chill. Nobody's paying attention to Tubi.
We've been saying about it. Actually, it was Neon. He's been saying about it many times, because we've watched it a few times. But meanwhile,
I like Tubi.
Meanwhile, the guy got all this money, and what did he go buy? Tubi.
Yeah, Fox. What's left of Fox? This would be Rupert Murdoch's Fox, right? He got $70 billion from Disney because Disney were a bunch of dumbasses and they overpaid for Fox.
They really did overpay. And I think that was partly Comcast,
driving up the price.
I think it was like a shill bid type thing. Yeah. They kept driving up. I'm like, okay, you take it,
Rupert Murdoch, a lot of people don't like Rupert Murdoch, right? He is a savvy businessman. So he's probably like, if the bitches at Disney are going to pay that much, go for it. Give me your money.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you?
Give me your money.
You don't have to pay it. I'll take your money.
So what does he do? He waits about a year, and then he goes around and he buys Tubi for $440 million. Like, well, Tubi doesn't have much of anything. Tubi's it's like, no, they have the infrastructure and they have the subscriber base.
It's already built in. It's already there.
Yeah. It was ready to go. They didn't have to spend billions of dollars to go build their own platform.
Like Disney did.
Disney, like a bunch of dumbasses, spent all this money to build Disney Plus and build all this from the ground up or whatever. They're like, let's just go buy one that's already built. Let's go buy a fixer-upper.
And then we can just put whatever we want on it.
And that's what they're doing. In fact, this just came out today that Tubi is going to start producing its own original live-action content. Well, shit, Disney, you just gave them the money to compete directly against you.
Yeah, when you figure they paid $70 billion for it. Now, granted, after taxes, after other things, I'm sure he didn't get to walk off with that much. But I'm sure it's still a hefty amount of money. He paid $400 million. I'm sure he's got many, many billions beyond that.
And he had billions beyond that before the Disney deal. He's just like, you guys are desperate. I will sell you a pig in a poke. You know, he sold them Fox, but I'm going to be honest, there's nothing in Fox that's worth $70 billion. Yeah, they got Aliens and Predators. They're both damaged franchises.
They got The Simpsons and they're ruining that.
They're ruining The Simpsons. Half the stuff they got, they're not going to use it. They're censoring shit.
They'll stick it on Disney Plus just to say they have content.
Meanwhile, Murdoch is going to take his money and he's going to go make some original content on this platform that already has, I think, 33 million subs. Yeah, 33 million. 33 million subs. That's already a little over twice, I think, what HBO Max has.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that.
So now the next move is they struck a deal with Toei. One of the biggest anime producers for exclusive content on their platform. Like, I don't think people realize what a big deal this is. Like, now they're going to get into the Crunchyroll space too. And there are other options out there. I always bring up Retro Crush TV. Retro Crush TV is fantastic. I highly recommend it. They have a lot of old stuff. This does seem to be older stuff because the newer stuff is mostly tied up. But they are getting the One Piece TV specials. And this kind of goes along with a lot of these studios going out to YouTube and trying to build their own because they want more control. They don't want, Funimation and Crunchyroll to control everything. So I gotta wonder if the terms were, you guys can use our platform. You can put out there whatever you want to. We'll give you a bigger cut of the revenue, and we're not going to censor this shit. If it were me, I would do that. I'd be like, come on over. We'll handle it, and you just put on there what you want to put on there, and we'll give you a bigger cut. We're just happy to have you over here.
Yep.
And we're not going to tell you, your stuff is naughty and needs retranslated.
Well, not yet anyway.
Well, depends. If it's like Redo of Healer or something, I'd be like, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But anyway, this is on Comic Book Resources. You people are starting to get, because this deal was inked like a month ago. Saint Seiya and Slam Dunk coming to Tubi. From One Piece TV specials, another big series by Toriyama, Tubi is now host to anime that no other service provides. Not even Crunchyroll, not even Funimation. So they're getting the One Piece TV specials. There's a bunch of them. They're getting one of my all-time favorite manga, Dr. Slump.
I don't even know it.
Freaking love Dr. Slump. Dr. Slump was pre-Dragon Ball.
Well, you can tell by the character designs that's the case.
This is my favorite retro art style. I love early Toriyama stuff. I love that look because to me, I always have happy memories of video game instruction manuals and stuff that have a very similar
it was kind
art
of similar,
style to it. She's a robot. By the way.
I gathered that when it says the robot.
Female, she's a robot. But I love the manga. They have it on Shonen Jump on the app. You can read it. And now we're going to get the series on Tubi. Toriko, some of these I'm not familiar with. Saint Seiya is a classic. Let's see what else. Slam Dunk was huge, really huge back in the day. In the 90s, it was a big deal. And this is just the beginning. This is one studio. And I have a feeling that if this stuff isn't, and there is a lot of other anime on Tubi beyond this stuff. I think Tubi's going to do an end run around all these streaming services.
No one paid attention to it. No one saw it coming. We said, you said a while ago, it's like he bought this up. He got it for not that much money. He's going to do something with it. And everybody just ignored you, didn't say anything.
It's just Tubi.
What the hell? No one cares. Yeah, no one cared. That was the point. That's why you didn't see him coming.
Again, you can say a lot of things about Rupert Murdoch, but that bastard is smart. This is exactly what I would have done. I would have been
wait, you're saying you're smart too?
Well,
in a roundabout way.
In a roundabout way.
More in there.
No, I would have. I would have been like, hey, I got a chance to buy a streaming service with an install base for a rock bottom price because they didn't think it was worth that much because NBC had pulled a lot of their content off to go Peacock. But the bones were there.
Right. It was already,
It had good bones. Your fixer-upper shows.
I used to watch that, yes.
And you're like, we already got an audience. We already got a platform that's proven to work. It's already installed on a bunch of devices. We just got to get content. So let them overpay for this shit. I'm going to cut them, $400 million for this thing. let them laugh at me, and then we're gonna low key just start making our own content.
We're paying for Tubi.
Yeah, and we're gonna start bringing anime over, and you know, Tubi might wind up being the dark horse that winds up being a major player in the streaming wars, because Rupert Murdoch didn't fail very often.
No, but it was smart, and it was like a
very
way
smart.
to go under the radar, and no one paid any attention. Except for you, because you said about it before, and everybody ignored us.
Everybody laughed at us. They always do.
They always do, and then it comes, oh, that's like Disneyland's not going to be closed for more than 2 weeks. Ha ha ha. We're like, it's going to be closed a lot longer. No, it's not, you haters. Yeah.
Yep. 33 million subs, though. That's a pretty good number.
That's a pretty good start.
That's a good start. And they get some original content on there. They get some... what if Toei decides they're gonna, you know, they're getting tired? What if they get tired of Funimation and they're like, let's just bring new Dragon Ball to Tubi, because they're not gonna...
Well, they have the money for sure to pay for it.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, if he has all that money from Disney overpaying him, Disney just made their own competition, probably.
Let's get some new series on there. You know, maybe Dragon Ball. Maybe the rights are tied up with Funimation. Let's create a new series and bring it over to
They
Tubi.
easily could get some new series.
Yeah, we're not gonna do Funny Crunch or Crunchyroll or what, you know, whatever they're gonna call it, and that's it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.